and welcome to CNBC TV 18 and Salesforce present Bharat Trailblazers, a series where we've been showcasing companies that have been able to stay ahead of the game thanks to embracing technology. And today, as you may have guessed, we're going to focus on the healthcare sector. Now, Proactive for her is a relatively young health tech company which has been able to make a name for itself by providing accessible, judgement-free and personalized healthcare for women in clinics, at home and online. Joining me now to talk about the company's journey so far and its plans ahead is its founder and CEO, Achitha Jacob. Achitha, thank you very much for being with us here on CNBC TV 18 and welcome to our show. You're in the healthcare space and that's what we want to focus on today. If you could start by taking us through the journey, in healthcare, for instance, and focusing on women's healthcare, how has this space itself evolved in the last few years?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. There's been so much around women's health in two specific areas if you look at the last decade. Obviously, you see large hospitals like Motherhood, Cloud9 that have built brands around birthing. And you also see a whole bunch of IVF chains that have come up, including Milan, Nova, Indra IVF. And it almost seems to be that in the last decade, we've decided the most important part about women's health is her ability to... reproduction, exactly. And there's so much more to our bodies and there's so much value to us as women, even beyond the fact that we can give birth and procreate. So a lot of our vision as a company has been to say what more in women's health. So we started off talking about non-judgmental gynecology. A lot of this was inspired by our customers telling us, they're obviously in their 20s and 30s, not yet married, sexually active, and feel a sense of discomfort when they go to their doctors and their doctors are like, so are you married or are you not married? Which is actually a very indirect way of asking them, are you sexually active? And we really wanted to say, we understand where this is coming from culturally, but it's time that we change because women have changed and they want more, deserve better. So that's how we really started. That's how we got our initial first few customers. We said, hey, we're going to create a culture and we're going to create clinical protocols that respect your choices and put you at the center of care. And we're going to start off by talking about sexual health. And we move from there to menstrual health, hormonal health, a lot of stuff around gynecology and even beyond that. So today in our clinics, we have a whole bunch of experts. So we obviously have gynacs, but we also have a nutritionist, a dermatologist, pelvic floor physiotherapist expert, just understanding that women's health has been so ignored and there's so much opportunity in this space. Starting with gynecology, but also moving beyond is something we're really excited about and going beyond pregnancy and birthing.
Well, that's a whole spectrum of things that you've spoken about. But, I want to get more into how you're creating this comfort zone for women because, you've been speaking about how traditional hospitals are very focused on certain things, whereas you're able to provide a more safe, judgment-free zone to women and come and talk about these very private things with you. How are you doing that?
We actually did a little bit of research during our second fundraise where one of our incoming investors were trying to figure out, this is a nobody brand, right? It's been here for less than 2 years. The clinic's been here for just a couple of months. Why are women trusting this brand where there are much more established players with much larger names and much larger marketing budgets? A lot of the proof points that women heard from us was obviously looking at the kind of messaging and communication that we had on social media, talking about issues, for example, vaginismus that nobody else was talking about. Talking about our approach to care, which really is very patient-centric, body positive, sex positive, trauma informed, and super holistic in terms of how we approach our customers. So it was a lot about what we were saying, but also a lot about what others were saying about us. And the research showed that before someone decided to step into a proactive clinic, they almost had to hear about us up to 7 times to create that conviction to say, I'm going to go and be part and just, be part of a doctor. And this applied equally to folks who had never been to a gynecologist ever in their life before.
Feeling comfortable to come out to
Exactly,
the
exactly. Yeah. And also folks who had been to gynecologists and maybe didn't feel like they were fully heard or their concerns were fully addressed. So I think both of those,
customer segments are coming to Proactive for her. Providing this whole host of services, right, from tests to clinical services, at-home consultation, this and that. How are you using digital technology at the center of all of this to ensure that you're giving the right service to the customers as they want it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we need to know about our customer base is they are independent women with very little free time on their hands and they expect the best, right? Yeah. So they would compare us with the established tech giants, for example, someone like an Urban Clap or a Swiggy. That's the kind of service they've come to expect from us. Yeah. And we're rising to that challenge when it comes to meeting them where they'd like us to be. So one of the things that we've tried to optimize for is the seamless booking process by which people can just enter into the clinic, either walk in and then obviously we can service them at that point, but also book their slot in advance. Our wait times are more often than not much lesser than industry standards, which can be up to an hour.
To hear.
and we try to sort of really stick to that time, and obviously in case of emergencies that might go up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes of wait time. But we also have a super comfortable lobby where women can wait. So just creating a seamless booking experience, meeting them where they are in terms of how they'd like to communicate with us, right? A lot of our booking, requests come through WhatsApp, and we've been able to integrate Salesforce, the entire the machine behind what we do to just let people simply WhatsApp us, and then we have one consolidated service line query running from them, whether they call us, whether they WhatsApp us. So it's quite seamless. I'm sure all of us have been through very frustrating moments where trying to get to the reception of a hospital and ask, when do I come? When is the doctor available? Is the doctor running late? This is all, you just have to just kind of like
eliminate all of that with, digital. The whole process of resolving customer queries and catering to their needs. How is technology, if you could give any metrics, helped you make the process more efficient?
So it's been super helpful. In fact, like our tech team has done a fantastic job in building out the right processes and customer journeys. And when we initially started, we obviously didn't have any of this backend built out. But today, when customers message us, 98% of our customers are get a resolution and response to their query within 15 minutes of messaging us, which is almost unheard of in the healthcare space, where you probably have to wait days before you get a call back or hear about your reports or anything else.
Okay, a bit about your marketing campaign as well. You told us earlier that your investors ran this little test and they said that they have to hear Proactive for Her 7 times before a customer walks into your clinic. But what has your marketing campaign been centered around? How are you getting the message across for more walk-ins here, or get more customers?
A lot of our marketing campaigns are obviously we think about it in 2 different buckets. So one is focused on acquisition of new customers. So as far as industry standards go, we have super low ad spend as a percentage of our total offline revenue. So Indiranagar being profitable is a key metric that we focus on as a company. So marketing spends are low, which means we need to be super efficient in terms of how we communicate and engage with our customers. So a new customer acquisition, very seamless journeys that are enabled by Salesforce through both their sales cloud as well as their marketing cloud. We also use like a whole bunch of retention emailers that's also through the Salesforce marketing cloud, where we have very good open rates, very good sign-ups for either our new products or our events that we keep doing, something that we call office hours. So all of this is enabled by the ability to deliver something that's technologically enabled, but also being able to measure metrics around open rates, about clicks, about delivery rates. It's enabled us to improve our processes internally.
And this is even more relevant because earlier you were telling me how your clientele ages between 19 to 35 years of age. And this is a very digital savvy age bracket that you're talking about. So is the campaign even more digitally focused because of that?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, like less than 10% of our marketing spends actually go into BTL and offline marketing.
I see.
So it's very focused with respect to our online journeys and online marketing. Obviously, one of the core reasons we do that, it's easier to measure the ROI of an online marketing campaign versus something that's happening BTL, for example, like a signboard or no parking boards. We do a
Yeah.
little bit of that.
Yeah.
But
it's
that's
more digital.
It's more digital, yes.
On a daily basis, as any other company, you deal with a lot of data, right? So, to your mind, what is the importance of a unified platform that
Yeah.
you could have, which is the single source of truth for all of your business and help you scale from there?
Yeah, it has a major impact because our customers, they don't want to waste time explaining and re-explaining who they are, what have they contacted us for. They don't have the time for that, right? They're very busy women. They have to get on with their lives. So we have the ability to unify any kind of sales queries as well as service queries into one point.
Platform for all, everyone working here to be able to see.
And track what they've done before, track what have they expressed interest in, and then give them meaningful service that's tailored to what are their personal goals with respect to their health.
Achitha, those were lots of takeaways, but if you were to sum up all of your learnings, through this journey so far, and for healthcare companies out there, they're probably watching this show, what are some of the reasons why it's very important for a player in the healthcare sector to embrace technology?
Yeah, great question. So I think the biggest reason is there's a huge consumerization of healthcare. So no longer are patients or consumers of healthcare willing to just accept any standard of care, not accept issue resolution.
Yeah.
They want the same kind of service that they get with the airlines and with the hotels and with the other tech apps that they are interacting with. So just being able to meet consumer expectations and understanding that there are so many more options in the market. It's just not your one or two hospitals in a city and you either go there, you have no choice. There are so many options a consumer. They have the ability to say, I don't like your service, I'm going somewhere else. And that's something we need to be very mindful as a healthcare company is we are competing and we're competing for the trust and the wallet share of our customers. The second piece would be something around just creating the right set of data, both in the organization and for the consumer or customer, to be able to understand where they are in their healthcare journey and how can they be proactive about their health. So for us internally, when we have a customer come in and they talk about various goals, we have a little card that they get at the reception. If they choose to fill it, they can tell our clinician that apart from just the specific issue they've come to us for today, what else would they like to learn about? And then we're able to take that data and store it at the back end. And they're able to see some of those recommendations on their dashboard as well. So being able to create that continuity of care and not just for what's happening with them today, but as they age in their 30s, 40s, 50s and 60s, being
and their
the partner.
requirements change.
Yes, absolutely. So taking control of their health is something that data helps both them and us to enable them.
Well, on that note, Achitha, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts here on CNBC TV 18.
Thanks, Ritu. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. On that note, it's a goodbye and thank you for watching.